hang on right there.
Okay.
Keep your hands on your pocket.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, and I'm going to get your card. Just stay right there. And you walk around. So my email's on there. So more than welcome to call.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. Should we walk back?
Sure.
They would prefer to have me. But if some female makes an offer to you, and you're lonely already, it's tempting for a person.
What made this so tempting for you?
Being lonely.
Anything else you'd like to tell us?
No, you're gonna get me arrested when I leave.
Had he seen our previous reports, he would know exactly what's going to happen next.
Sheriff's office, get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get out! Get out! Get on the ground! Lay down! Lay down!
And an update on one of the most shocking men caught in our To Catch a Predator series, a rabbi.
You've got to stop this.
I gotta ask, you still gonna be up for tonight?
We'll see.
So how can I help you?
A year ago, 54-year-old David Kay was caught in one of our To Catch a Predator investigations, trying to meet a 13-year-old boy for sex. Turns out, Kay was a rabbi.
You know I'm in trouble, and I know I'm in trouble.
Just last week, he was convicted in federal court of attempting to entice a minor to engage in an illegal sexual act and of traveling with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct. He's behind bars, awaiting sentencing.
What was your plan here today in this house?
Hang out and whatever, sir.
Hang out and whatever.
I don't know. I mean, if nothing was really going to happen or nothing, I mean, hey.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Hands out! Hands out!
Next week, our investigation in Harris County, Georgia, continues.
You're a mature guy with a very successful career in the military.
Yes, sir.
What does a guy like you doing online chatting with somebody who's 14 years old?
I was just fooling around.
You'll hear more from this soldier and many other men who show up at our house hoping to meet a young teen home alone.
Good.
That's coming up 1 week from Friday on the next To Catch a Predator. So how can a parent protect a child from an internet predator? You'll find a complete online safety guide on our website, including advice on how to talk to your kids and how to monitor their internet use. Just log on to dateline.msnbc.com.
Up next, our second hour of Dateline, Matt Lauer's exclusive interview with Deborah LaFay.
She's the young Florida school teacher who had intimate relations with a 14-year-old student. She's been called a female sex predator, and that's interview next. I'm Ann Curry.
And I'm Stone Phillips. Thank you. Is exactly where he's going. Coast to coast, Dateline watches murder, undercover stings.
Get on the ground now! Hand behind your back. Get down!
More than 80 suspected predators caught by our police. And
You know who I am. You're on the You say to her, I can't control my feeling level. We're talking about taking me to the gym.
Tonight, 3 military men beware our man behind that curtain.
I believe that we have had some young child.
net crime. Catch a predator. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stone Phillips.
And I'm Ann Curry. In community after community, vulnerable young teenagers are still at risk from grown men online. Now our hidden cameras are in Georgia.
And among the suspected predators caught on tape, 3 military men. 2 served in Iraq, but could they now be serving time in prison? Chris Hansen has our latest investigation, and again, we want to warn you that some of it is explicit.
She said she was 13.
She did. I'm sorry, sir. I have interest in younger girls. That has just been a fantasy of mine.
A fantasy?
Yes, sir.
Do you know it violates Georgia law?
Yes, sir.
Go on in.
So even when men know it's against the law,
Are you gonna arrest me or what?
Get on the ground! On the ground now!
no, there's a chance that
You are being
and know all about told a child is home alone and willing to have sex with them. And the number of men who continue to arrive at the door during each undercover operation is alarming.
All right, this is True Sweet Guy. True Sweet Guy.
Like our latest investigation, the 6th one, this time in Harris County, Georgia.
Emily, open the door and call.
We've rigged this house with 12 hidden cameras, 5 inside and 7 outside.
Which camera you want to lose?
From a control room inside the house, who operates the cameras and records a man's every move from the moment he drives up to the house. We've hired a young-looking 19-year-old to play the part of a young girl, a decoy to invite the men in. This is a 14-year-old girl named Diane. He met her online just hours ago in an AOL chat room.
Yeah, I made some sweet tea for you if you want a glass. It's super good. It's what we do down south. I'll be right back.
To give you an idea why he might be here, take a look at what he said online. Using the screen name True Sweet Guy 69, he asks a decoy, an adult pretending to be 14, if she's good at giving oral sex. The decoy says, nobody ever complained. Didn't do it lots, but I know how to do it. Then True Sweet Guy 69 asks if he shows the girl a picture of his penis, would she give him oral sex? The decoy, who he thinks is 14, says, oh yeah. And sure enough, True Sweet Guy 69 sends her a picture of his genitals.
How you doing? Why don't you have a seat?
We were talking online.
And who are you talking about?
With that young lady there, sir.
The young lady. Okay, well, the decoy to me.
He was really talking online with a different decoy. The online watchdog group Converted Justice, which Dateline hired to do what they normally do. Go into chat rooms and set up computer profiles pretending to be young teens who are interested in sex. And sometimes, as in the case of True Sweet Guy 69, the decoy says she is sexually experienced. And how old is that young lady?
She said she was 14, sir.
14. And how old are you?
24, sir.
24?
Yes.
And you thought that was appropriate. Why?
Well, I don't know, sir. I mean, I just thought it was all right. I mean,
Then I asked him about the picture of his genitals he sent to the girl posing as a young teen.
Now, when you were online, you sent this picture.
yes, sir.
You did.
I'm not going to deny that.
Right. Now, you know that's against the law.
Serious about talking to somebody. Other than that,
Well, Rick, what do you think would have happened if I wasn't here and a 14-year-old
whatever was going to happen was going to happen. If nothing was going to happen.
So if she was willing to have sex with you, you might have sex with her.
I really feel like second thought.
Second thought.
Yeah, I've seen this show about 3 times.
You've seen this show? You know exactly what
You're on the date.
Now, did you think at all that maybe you were walking into To Catch a Predator?
It was, and you know, that kind of crossed my mind for a minute.
Yeah.
And then I just wiped it away, you know.
So you wiped it away. Do you think it was a good show?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was supposed to stop people and things like that, you know.
Well, this is the part where usually I say, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, you remember that part?
Yes, I remember.
And then you remember when these guys come out, the cameras come out, right?
And then I say, if there's anything else you'd like to tell us,
No, that's it.
we'd like to hear it. Otherwise, you're obviously free to walk out the door you came in.
And like the other men he's seen in our reports, True Sweet Guy 69 probably knows he's about to face yet another confrontation.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Now, on your face. On your face. Get down.
Perverted Justice has been sending all the sexually explicit online chat between the shows and predators to the Harris County Sheriff's Department. In Georgia, it's a crime to attempt to solicit sex online with a minor. And law enforcement says showing up at this house makes a case even stronger. So True Sweet Guy 69 is arrested. Unmarked car and taken in for questioning. After that, transported to the county jail. Fingerprinted. Locked up. The next day, he goes before a judge. Bail is
Criminal attempt child molestation. Each is $15,000.
And as you'll see, there are many more men about to go down the same road. From our undercover house to the courthouse. And all the stops in between.
Coming up, we've never seen this. A suspect with something very specific in mind.
Now, this is the fetish guy with the boots.
You talk about taking her out and buying her some boots.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
When To Catch a Predator continues.
You're gonna push that open, you're gonna haul her out.
We hired this young-looking 19-year-old named Amanda to play the part of an underage girl home alone.
And you come around here.
She gets into position, standing by the front door as a potential predator shows up at our undercover house.
Come on in, I'm just finishing up the show.
57-year-old Todd West has no problem following our decoy right to the house. He's here to meet a girl who online using a screen name we can't show on TV, he chats on and off with a decoy named Mystic Roses for a week. He decides to turn on his webcam and send the girl a live picture of his penis. After they set up a plan, the decoy asks if he'll bring condoms and Jack Daniels. Did he?
Did you bring the Jack Daniels? Hey! Did you pick up the condoms?
Strange house.
Do you have any special ideas for tonight or anything? What are some of your ideas?
More about him a little later. This next man heading into the house just made a stop at a gas station down the road. As you can see from this security camera video, he bought condoms before he came over to meet a girl he thinks is a 13-year-old girl. He's 37-year-old William Rao, a service tech for phone-operated machine, also known as Barry Wolfsburg. He's talking to a decoy who has a lady that I really want to make love to you. Hold you close to me. The decoy says, I want that too. Later, using a different screen name, Wolf Knight 30, he tells the decoy he's worried because of the Dateline shows of late. The decoy, responding like a 13-year-old, says, what's Dateline? She pretends not to know about the show to see if a man apparently aware of our investigation would still take the risk and show up. He explains to her it's a show on NBC, doing a lot of shows about her. Enough to scare him away.
Actually, I'd rather for you to talk. Oh, sir. Sir, I need to talk to you a minute.
To speak with him or Todd West. But the team from the Harris County Sheriff's Office will.
Hands behind your back.
After he's won his rights, 7-year-old West chooses to remain silent. illicit link. Chief Brett Wade, investigators may not know.
Brooke, her name was Brooke. How old is Brooke? Brooke said she was 13. Okay. Was my intention to have sex with her? No.
Did you stop down here at the Chevron gas station and purchase condoms?
Yes, right, but my intentions were because she asked me to bring condoms. I had the condoms just in case, but my intentions were not to have sex.
Well, you only buy condoms for one thing.
To have sex, I know. So that's why I'm being charged with being a pedophile.
He's not being charged as a pedophile. That would be sex with a much younger child. Instead, he'll face criminal attempt to commit child molestation.
Well, I think you think me and Corporal Knotts here are acting like you'd come down here and try to have sex with someone who's not consenting, and that's not what we're talking about at all. We know good and well you wouldn't force yourself on the road.
My intentions were not to have sex, but if the opportunity was there, then yeah. But my intentions were not to go that route. So that's the reason I feel like I'm being tricked.
After the interview, Raul is taken to the Harris County Jail. He's still in custody today, unable to make bail.
And this is the fetish guy with the boots.
Meanwhile, back at the house, Amanda, our decoy, is in place ready to invite our next guest inside.
All right, Amanda, this guy should be bringing riding boots for you to wear.
Using the screen name Gerald White 30627, this 31-year-old starts chatting with a girl posing as a 15-year-old. He asks the decoy if she wears boots. The girl responds, "I wish I had some tall ones." Then Gerald White 30627 says, "Perhaps we could go boot shopping." The decoy types, "Wow, you mean for like the big ones?" Then he cuts to the chase and says, "I'm not going to avoid the subject. I would like to make love to you after we are done boot shopping." A serious fetish for boots. Gerald White later tells the decoy he's going to bring her a pair of boots. But as he comes in the house, he's not carrying any.
Come on in, Alexia. Sweet tea.
Good.
I just gotta get these clothes out so they don't wrinkle. Did you bring the riding boots?
Yes.
All right.
In the car.
I can't wait to get my own pair.
So you have a little shopping day planned this afternoon?
It's not ready
yet.
Yep.
Yeah? And who are you taking shopping today?
Natasha.
Natasha.
Yes.
And how did you meet Natasha?
Met her online.
Online.
Yes.
And how old do you think Natasha is?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No, sir. We never discussed it.
You never discussed it?
To refresh his memory, I read to him from his chat log.
I'm 15.
You don't have to go any further. I understand.
You talk about taking her out and buying her some boots.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
It's just shopping, period.
Shopping.
That's it.
So you just found a 15-year-old girl online, decided you're going to buy her a pair of leather boots that you want her to wear 24 hours a day, you say right here? What was your plan here today?
No plan whatsoever.
No plan whatsoever.
Just coming to talk and everything. Obviously, I need...
As the 31-year-old heads for the door, law enforcement moves into place, ready to take the man down as soon as he walks outside.
Get on the ground now! Get down!
Police arrest him and lead him away, clearing the front of the house so more suspects are free to come in.
Coming up, the Air Force, the Army, the National Guard. 3 military men come knocking at the door.
Married, looking for fun, that's you, right?
And a confrontation brings one of them to his knees. When To Catch a Predator continues. Welcome back to our 6th investigation into online sex predators. This time we're in Harris County, a rural part of Georgia. And sad to say, among the surprises at the door are 3 military men, one formerly in the Air Force and 2 others who recently served in Iraq. Now they're under arrest and in the interrogation room with police. Again, Chris Hansen.
Rage. There you go.
Whether near a big city or a rural area like Harris County, Georgia, 24-year-old Brian Lindsay here because he was invited by a girl who said online she was 15.
I gotta throw my clothes in the wash, okay?
I made you some tea, though.
Using the screen name BLindsay01, he describes how he wants to give the girl oral sex. He says, I can't control my horny level. Then he says, I want to blank your brains out. I can't help it. Now he's driven 2.5 hours to meet her.
Have some tea if you want some. It's sweet tea. Is that okay?
Yeah, I already drank some on the way.
Did you find the place okay?
Yes, sir.
Could you have a seat right over there, please? What are you up to tonight?
Just driving around.
Just driving around?
Why is he just driving around? He says he's been away from Georgia for 2 years while serving in the United States Air Force. He wanted to learn his way around again.
How is that lesson going for you tonight so far?
Not too good.
Then he comes up with a completely different excuse.
What made you drive over to this driveway?
But he drops that story as soon as I read to him from his chat log.
I take it you're a virgin.
Yeah, I know. It's jailbait.
Jailbait.
24-year-old with a 15-year-old, that's jailbait. However, I do believe you can be friends with a 15-year-old and maybe go out and go bowling or something like that.
But that's not what you talk about here. You don't talk about going out bowling or just hanging out or mentoring this 15-year-old. You talk about having sex in great detail.
I will get on there and I will speak to you. Sometimes people will just talk about that.
If you were here right now and wanted to, I would not deny you. I want to blank your brains out. I can't help it.
There is...
Is there any other meaning for that?
There's a difference between wanting to and actually doing it.
It sounds like you sure wanted to, based upon this. I can't control my horny level. You see, during the conversation, you just masturbated twice.
And I was lying.
You were lying then, or you're lying now?
Yes, it's my fault. I actually followed you.
Well, I'll tell you exactly. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet teens on the internet and then try to meet them. Well, Ryan, what should have happened to you?
Well, honestly, with this, I think I should just be able, just feeling like to just go home.
Like nothing ever happened?
No, sir. Go home. Just take it as a lesson learned, not to do it again.
No such luck. Like all the other men who show up at this house, he gets arrested. While this former military man talked even after he knew he was being recorded, the next man, currently a soldier, doesn't stay long enough to find out he's on national television.
Okay, I just gotta put this in the washer. Come on in.
He's 27-year-old Marshall Gertman, a first lieutenant in the National Guard who served a year in Iraq. He's been chatting with a decoy posing as a 15-year-old. High excitement, he shows the girl a ring and asks her. Plans to come over and
You can just take a seat. I'll be right there.
as he's walking in, he seems to spot our crew. And takes off. While he never tells us his side of the story, a year later, he speaks at length to investigators.
Going skinny dipping in the swimming pool. With a 15-year-old girl.
Back at the house, here comes another soldier, an Army Staff Sergeant who served a tour in Iraq, 33-year-old Rolando Resticruz.
Hey, come on in.
Online, he calls himself decoy who told him she was a 14-year-old virgin. He tells the girl when he first gets to her house they can take a shower together. I will undress you, and you will undress me, okay? The decoy says, okay. Then he says, I will have to get some lubricant, too. For a virgin to have sex, it hurts, so it's better if I put some extra lubricant. He also promises to bring her beer, a webcam, and sexy lingerie. But as he walks into the house, he doesn't appear to be carrying any presents. Could they be in his truck? More on that later.
I made some sweet tea. It's on the table. I just gotta put this stuff in the washer real quick.
Oh, how you doing, sir?
Good. How much have a seat? What are you doing here today?
Sir, I wasn't going to do anything. I swear.
You weren't going to do anything?
No.
Well, who were you here to see?
I was going to meet her. Let's see.
Meet who?
Your daughter.
My daughter?
Yes.
What makes you think it's my daughter?
He never answers that question. Instead, he says,
I don't want to destroy my life.
Well, you made the decision to walk in.
I know, sir. I wasn't going to do anything. I swear.
That's not what it sounds like in this chat log.
Yes, I was just fooling around, sir.
Damn, you're very sexy. I'm not a boyfriend.
Oh, no, sir. So
you've ever been to the old guy?
He refuses to sit in the chair. We have the right man.
Married, looking for fun. For a virgin to have sex. We're going to tell her all this sex Do you often chat with teenage girls on the internet?
No, it was the first time.
Why even enter into this discussion with somebody who says they're 14?
Sir, please.
On his knees, he seems a sad character. But this is the same man who chatted online for more than 3 weeks, typing well over 50 pages of chat log, saying things to a girl he thought was 14, like, remember, sex is a little nasty. You don't want your dad to find stuff in his bed.
Rolando, what should happen to you?
I don't know. I mean,
don't you see something wrong with an adult, a sergeant in the Army, coming over to meet a 14-year-old?
It's too far away.
Promise. With my life.
But what happens to him legally is not up to me. A sexual online chat with someone he thought was 14.
You ever watch You ever watch Dateline NBC?
Yeah, all the cops and everything. I know.
You ever see the Catch a Predator show?
Yes, I'm not a predator, sir. I swear.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to say, I'd like to hear it. Otherwise, you're free to walk right out of this room.
Sir, can I go?
Yes, absolutely.
The soldier is free to leave, but remains kneeling, perhaps because he knows what will happen next. Eventually, he gets up and, with his head hanging low, heads for the front door. But he's not on his feet for long. Tom's show may seem less convincing as we show you what the police find in his truck. Gifts he bought for a 14-year-old.
Astroglide, is that some kind of sexual lubricant?
Yes, sir.
You brought that with you?
Yes, sir.
How about panties and a camisole?
Yes, sir.
And what about the other soldier who served time in Iraq? Things get tough for him inside the interrogation room.
Provided a 15-year-old child with a pornographic website. Yes, sir. So this could cost you a military career.
To Catch a Predator continues.
I'm Chief Waywood, Harris County Sheriff's Department. Your name is Rolando Restacruz?
Yes, sir.
Rolando is the 33-year-old Army staff sergeant who kneeled in our kitchen and told a sob story. But if he never intended to do anything wrong, how would he explain what investigators find in his truck?
Is all this stuff in the vehicle? Yes, sir. How about Trojan? Is that Trojan condom? So you brought condom with you? How about Astroglide? Is that some kind of sexual lubricant? You brought that with you? How about panties and the camel the webcam? Did you buy the webcam?
Yes, sir.
Why did you bring it with you?
Because I promised her that I was going to give her one.
It was all there in the chat logs that Perverted Justice provided to law enforcement. Remember, his screen name is Married and Looking for Fun 31313.
Does the screen name Bedhead Red 14 ring a bell with you?
That's Whitney.
That's Whitney. And Whitney, you believe to be a 14-year-old girl, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, around 6:56, you told her after some chat, I want you in my chest after we do it all night sleeping together. Is that you? Then you say, I love you, baby. And then you say, I want to be your loving husband forever. And then you say yes. Down a little bit further, Married and Looking for Fun says, we will have to hide your real age. You remember typing that?
He doesn't deny a thing. Investigators complete the interrogation and the soldier is taken to the county jail.
Look to your left for me.
Where officers take his mugshot, fingerprints, and place him in a cell. 2 days later,
Rolando Cruz.
he goes before a judge.
Mr. Cruz, you're charged with criminal attempt child molestation. It's a felony. It carries a penalty of 1 to 20 years.
And bail is set.
All right, on the criminal attempt child molestation, I'm going to set a $15,000 bond.
He wasn't the only military man caught in our state, but this other soldier's memory is clear. Remember First Lieutenant Marshal Burtman? He planned to meet a girl he thought was 15.
Honestly, I couldn't remember her age. She only told me that one time. I knew she was probably underage just by the way we were talking. Bad judgment call and bad judgment call to keep talking to her.
Well, you know, first lieutenants don't make bad judgment calls.
Hey,
not always.
Not always.
But he insists he had no plans for sex with the young teen.
I would never let myself do that.
What, you let yourself chat with 15 years old? You let yourself come over to a house where there's only a 15-year-old in it?
Yes, sir, I know.
And you expect me to believe that you didn't expect to get laid while you were here?
Sir, no, I don't expect you to believe it, no. But knowing myself, no, I wouldn't let it go that far. That makes sense, sir.
He did allow himself to send a girl he thought was underage a link to a pornographic website. Like all the other men caught in our investigation. A total of 20 men showed up at our house in Fortson, Georgia. All 20 were arrested and booked by Harris County Sheriff Mike Jolly and his team.
No doubt, my lord.
And there are other adults seemingly on the prowl for sex with a minor. This man shows up in his big rig.
Hey, you made it. I'll be back in just a second.
And this one, a director at a computer software company, is playing hooky from work so he can meet a 13-year-old home alone.
Sit down, make yourself at home.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm just getting these out so don't get wrinkled.
All right.
He seems so friendly and polite, that manager at a software company, but his online chat tells a different story.
You know, sex with a minor is called rape.
Right, I understand.
When Detective Parker
Yeah, this next sex predator does for a living.
All right, so let him turn off the engine. He won't be able to hear anything until he cuts the engine. Let's let him get down.
He's a 41-year-old truck driver from Fayetteville, Georgia, Joseph Myra. He thinks a 15-year-old girl is inside to have sex with him. graphic to use, but in his chat, he asks the decoy, when it comes to sex, are there any positions you like best? The person pretending to be the 15-year-old says, I only did the one. Then he says, well, we'll try others. When the decoy says it's awesome that he's bringing the big truck, he says, well, I do not want your mom finding out, because it would mess up a good thing.
That's a big truck you got. How do you drive that thing?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's like driving a car.
Well, I would love to go for a ride sometime.
Well, I'd love to take you.
Where exactly were you going to take her in that truck of yours?
I was just going to take her around, you know, just see certain places, you know, and just talk to her.
Like where?
She want to go for a ride, I'll take her for a ride. I mean, nothing, you know, I ain't mean no harm in trying to do nothing I shouldn't be doing. You know, trying to, you know, be no idiot and no hurt or nothing.
That's what he says now, but what about what he said to her online?
You say, well, I do think you're damn sexy, and was wanting to know if you have ever had sex.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you did. I have it all right here, so you might as well just tell me right now.
I ain't disputing it. No, sir, I ain't disputing it. I'm just damn.
I think you probably have a very nice ass as well.
I was telling the conversation. I ain't going to sit here and tell me no excuse for the things I said, because I fell into the conversation. It was totally, it was wrong. And
you say, yeah, I'll be your bear, and we bears like tasting honey.
When you read it back to me like that right there, and I realizing what I said, no, you're right.
What do you think would have happened if I wasn't here? And in fact, a 15-year-old girl was here.
I told myself, I get in here to sit and just talk to her, you know.
You just said you were going to take her for a ride in the truck.
If she wanted to go,
How do you think a girl's father would feel if a 40-year-old man took a 15-year-old girl for a ride in the truck?
He'd be upset, right?
And he'd be justified, wouldn't he?
Oh, yes, he would.
You own that rig yourself?
No, sir.
So you work for a company that owns that rig. And how do you think they'd take to the fact you're out driving that rig around, going to meet a 15-year-old girl?
Well, they would look at it on it as a bad note and look at it, you know,
a bad note.
Like the way it actually looks.
You know it's wrong. It was foolish.
It was the wrong thing to do, and it, you know, it won't happen again. I know you got a job to do, and you know, I see it all the time. And
you see what all the time?
On news reports.
You've seen stories on television news about guys coming over to meet underage kids.
Yes, sir, but
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet young teens on the internet. If there's anything else you'd like to tell us, we're happy to hear it, and if not, you're obviously welcome to walk out the door you came in.
I told myself on my way down here, just talk to her, you know, and to stay away from the sexual overtones.
The 41-year-old leaves the house, and you know what happens next.
Get on the ground, now! All the way down, all the way down.
Turns out this is
started as early as 1983.
He was never convicted on the battery or theft charges, but in the 1990s, he was convicted of 6 misdemeanors and 1 felony drug charge. After Myrick's arrest, his truck is searched.
Cocaine.
Detectives find cocaine. Myrick has been brought out for questioning, where he appears to admit what he's done is wrong.
Do you have any kids?
No, sir, I got nieces and nephews.
How would you feel if somebody did this thing?
You know, honest answer?
Honest answer.
I would kill him.
Then the investigator asks Myrick about his use of cocaine.
I'm going to tell you like it is. When I talked both times I did talk to her, you know, I was in town and I was under the influence of it.
He seems to blame the cocaine for his current predicament. He'll be charged with drug possession, along with attempting to commit child molestation. Seen
That's going to be our 130. Wow. I mean, he's way over.
One thing that's disturbing about our investigations is that so many it's not.
Over the front door. Just make sure he sees that you're there.
He's 34-year-old Abhinav Oscar, director of software development for a large computer company. He thinks he's here to meet a 13-year-old girl.
Just fine, how are you? Come on. I'm just finishing up some laundry. I made you some sweet tea and want to pour a glass.
His screen name is Raj21US21. While chatting online with a decoy pretending to be 13, he asks, "Hon, would you like to take me in your mouth?" The girl says, "I'm not sure how." So Raj 21 US 21 says, "We will learn as we go along." But just as they're about to sign off, he tells the decoy what he's doing is wrong, but he has to be cautious.
Cautious? Why?
You know, sex with minor is called rape.
You don't want to have sex with me?
So I just want to make sure everything is okay. I don't want some cop waiting to see me there.
He seems relieved when he sees our decoy and not a police officer.
Sit down, make yourself at home.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm just getting these out so I don't get wrinkled.
All right.
So you've got a big afternoon planned, huh? Why don't you have a seat right there, please? What's going on?
Nothing much. I thought I'll just make a friend and that's it.
Told just to make a friend?
Yeah.
And who is the friend you were here to see?
Amy.
Amy.
Right.
And how old is Amy?
She said she was 13.
13?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
34.
34.
Right.
And why did you think it was okay at the age of 34 to come visit a 13-year-old girl home alone?
I said, I mean, it is for sex, I am not coming.
For sex, you are not coming?
Yeah. So I'll just make a good friend. I'm educated, I have an MBA.
You have an MBA?
Yeah. You know, I'm married and, you know, the marriage is not going well, so...
I'm sorry, you're married?
Yeah, yes, I am.
And the marriage is not going well?
Yeah, so I just wanted a friend to talk to, kind of.
But explain to me how difficulty in your marriage led you to this house where you believe a 13-year-old girl was home alone.
No, he said she's good in studies and...
Good in studies.
And I thought it is like a mature friend. I mean...
A mature friend?
Yeah.
Where were you when you were having this chat with this 13-year-old girl, Amy? Were you at your...
I was in office.
You were in your office?
Yeah.
Now, does your boss know that you are online chatting with
I'm
13-year-old girls?
sure they don't.
So what would his bosses think if they read a transcript of his pornographic online chat?
You ask if she masturbates. You say, "I feel like kissing you now," and suck on your gland individual design.
Right. That is the first day. Then I, slept on that and realized it is not a good thing. I mean, it's not something which I should do.
Well, why even come over here?
No, it was like working for 1 year. I just thought I would just take a day off. And
so you took a day off to come over here?
Yeah.
So you told them you had something else to do?
Who?
The people at your office?
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
I love you so much, hon. You talk about being cautious. She says, why? You say, sex with a minor is called rape.
Right, I understand.
So you know the law.
Yeah, I understand the law.
Well, Abby, there's a couple things you need to know.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who meet teens online.
Nothing else to say.
Okay.
Since he's never seen one of our reports, he doesn't know that law enforcement is waiting outside to arrest him.
Get on the ground! On the ground now! Get down!
When he's taken in for questioning, he asks to speak to a lawyer.
I'm a foreign national. Can I get an attorney or something?
Alrighty.
What happens next, sir?
Now you go to jail.
Once at the jailhouse, he's fingerprinted and photographed.
My wife and kids won't know where I am, so you can call and let them know.
I'll get back with you on that in just a little bit.
Then put behind bars, awaiting a hearing.
Well, you're charged with criminal attempt child molestation. That's a felony. It carries a penalty of 1 to 20 years.
How will he and all the others explain how they ended up caught in this investigation?
I mean, I've been trying to find a good woman my age. I really had.
When we come back, we'll hear more from the judge, and we'll hear plenty of excuses from the suspects.
I've never done it before.
First time I've done this right here.
I've never done this before.
And To Catch a Predator continues.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Judge Webb, Harris County Magistrate Court.
The undercover operation in Fortson, Georgia is over, and the last of the suspects caught in our sting are appearing before a local judge.
I'm not here to determine if you're guilty or innocent.
For most of the men, the judge sets a bond of $40,000, restricts their use of a computer and their interactions with minors, including their own children.
You're not to have any unsupervised contact with your children. Do they live with you full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. As a condition of your bond, I'm going to permit the contact, but it needs to be supervised.
That was July. Now, only 2 suspects remain in jail, unable to make bond: George Cleary and William Rowell. While just about all the men who showed up at our sting house said they weren't going to do anything illegal, none of them has had a chance to enter a plea, although this man tries to argue his case at his bond hearing.
I don't know for sure, but I hear a little bit of talk about this girl. She's an actor. She's 20 years old, actually.
The judge explains that this is not the time to submit a defense. That will be at a later hearing. And as for what excuses the other suspected sex predators might come up with, here's a reminder of what they told us.
Have you ever done this before?
No, I've never done it before.
First time I've done this right here.
First time?
Yes, sir.
I swear to you, sir, I've never done this before.
Have you ever chatted with an underage girl online?
No, I have never done this.
She's the first girl I talked to that, this.
Very first one?
I mean, yes, sir. I mean, honest God.
You know how many times I hear that?
You hear it all the time, but I'm telling you,
Do you think everybody could be telling me the truth?
Oh, no. I'm sure they're not.
And while many said it was their first time, a lot of them came prepared for the possibility of sex.
Did you bring condoms with you tonight?
I keep some in my Jeep.
What about condoms?
Yes, sir, I have them.
Did you bring condoms?
Yeah, I brought one, sir.
I keep condoms in the truck.
I have condoms in my car.
For what?
For safety purpose.
In the meantime, we're heading west to Northern California to another hidden camera house, this time in Petaluma, the hometown of Polly Klaas, the young girl abducted and murdered by a sex predator. Also one-time home of John Mark Carr, former suspect in the Jean-Benet Ramsey murder. In Petaluma, you'll see more men parade to our house, some from the Silicon Valley,